you've got to delegate, and delegating is
Hmm.
hard to do. But I've learned it's the only way you can do anything, to have it all, to enjoy what you're building and
Yeah.
enjoy growing family, and yeah, delegating is key.
Welcome to Real Estate Agent Superstars. I'm your host, RJ Baxter with Clear Path Home Loans. My guest this week is Allie Kirby with the Monarch Group at Compass Real Estate. And Allie's on this week to talk about how she's grown her business over the years, and specifically to get into what she does with not only building her team, but with her sphere and client marketing. So let's get into the episode. Welcome to the show, Allie. I appreciate you being on. How you doing today?
I'm so well. Thank you for having me. How are you?
I'm doing great. The new year's starting off really well, and super excited about 2024. So, how's your year going so far?
It's cool. I mean, we're off to like I just said, a little bit of a rocky start with some sick kiddos, but excited. I'm a
Yeah.
kind of goals junkie. I think you have to be in this industry a bit. So I
Hmm.
always get hyped off the new year, and yeah, just getting crystal clear on what we want it to look like and what we want to change or improve. So I
Yeah.
love it personally, but I know people have their qualms with resolutions and change, but I'm all about it.
Nice. Nice. So, what are some of your goals for this year?
Ooh, $1 million. I'm like, let me go through all the lists we made this past week with the team.
Hmm.
So, I think one thing that comes to mind, I guess, let me ask you, business or personal or both or all?
I would say all of the above. Why don't you start with personal, because that's way more fun and interesting.
Ooh, personal, I think. I mean, so I do have three kiddos, all under the age of 6. And I
Phew.
feel like I know our third turned 2 in February. So had met with my husband. We actually, and I would encourage every couple to do this, or partnership, is we meet weekly as like a business meeting because there's so much going on. I run
Hmm.
my own business. He's also COO for a startup, so things are very busy, and I think that's one of my biggest personal goals, is just to keep that meeting consistent, because uh,
Hmm.
when we're on the same page, everything else just runs seamlessly, and when we're not, that's when it all hell breaks loose in a way. So
Right.
again, just coming out of that postpartum, and um, finally being in a good rhythm.
Hmm.
Our bench is what we call it, just our support, our tribe that helps us be the parents, but also the business owners we want to be, has been so important. So that's really my number one:
Hmm.
be consistent with my meetings with Liam, is his name, my husband, because
Okay.
it's hard. It's really hard to manage everything that's on our plate. And if we don't
Yeah.
meet, nothing's going to happen, right? So that's my big personal goal.
That's a good one. So, what kind of business does he operate, just out of curiosity?
Good question. So he's been in startup world forever. Really helped Uber get off the floor in Denver, Colorado. Specifically, moved to San Francisco for some time there. It was actually my first year I was in real estate here, and I decided to stay and continue to grow my business. So we both sprinted for about a year and a half. And we were married. That was a very mutual decision, hard although it be. And now he is working for a company called Proof, and essentially, they're doing what Uber did, but for process serving. So, process serving is a little bit archaic still, where somebody's delivering or serving papers. It's not the sexiest of businesses to be in.
Hmm.
How can we automate that process so their
Hmm.
consumer employers or law firms, where they're saying, hey, we have a product where you can literally schedule the process server to go do this for you. So it's been really interesting. He's in charge of operations for them, and just got out of a Series B funding, so that was super stressful over the holidays. But yay, New Year, they're rolling into their goals, and yeah, he's my tech guy, my Excel lover for certain. So
Nice. Your IT support department.
yeah, yes,
Yeah,
100%. 100%.
I love it. So,
Yeah.
how do you keep your life work balance with you guys both, running businesses and three kids under 6? I mean, I know it's got to be a lot. So, what's your secret for keeping that balance?
Support and knowing that we can't do it all, and is basically bringing in a lot of help. We're very,
Hmm.
we've got to specific places. I think I am a type A person to a certain extent, but a very can do and yes oriented person. Um, and just realizing that's the way you have to grow a business in real estate is by
Mm-hmm.
doing. And it's hard to say no to things, no to clients, no to events, no to networking,
Mm-hmm.
um, but really finding those boundaries. So long way to get there is support. So I um, was fortunate to start at Keller Williams, then grew my business to York Castle. And I think at that point in time, we were realizing, okay, she's really going to do this full time. It's taking off. It's doing better than we ever thought it would in a million years.
Mm-hmm.
I found my niche. I found what I needed to do in the world and contribute to other people. And I was really fortunate to have the best of friends join me as a part-time assistant. We had our bumps, but we also realized she was meant to be an agent and not an assistant and not in that assist
Mm-hmm.
role, which led me to Drea. Drea is the angel on my shoulder, and the reason I'm still in the industry is because of her. So I have a full-time assistant who helps me with everything and anything from being director of operations to a client relations manager to marketing. She's really my jack of all, and helps me execute on that. And it's also helped me define my boundaries to be able to be a mom again, which has been incredible. So really that's the secret, is just hiring the right people and delegating, learning that, where you used to be able to do it all and you may be a little bit of control freak, you've got to delegate. And delegating is
Mm-hmm.
hard to do. But I've learned it's the only way you can do anything, to have it all, to enjoy what you're building and
Yeah.
enjoy growing family and yeah, delegating is key.
So I agree 100%. So how do you, being a control freak, how do you delegate and be comfortable with that?
Oh gosh, it took a lot of practice. I feel like there's
Mm-hmm.
still instances, even last night, like before I go to bed, I just jot down everything on my mind if it's not somewhere, right? Like, for example, I needed more Starbucks cards because anybody who sends me a referral, I always send them a Starbucks gift card. I needed the newsletter to be edited a certain way. She had already created the newsletter. I hadn't emailed her back about it. Just all these random little things that are floating in my mind
Mm-hmm.
that actually be executed on. And her and I hop on a call. And I think what I'm really fortunate about is it just took practice of understanding, what can Drea do? What does she enjoy doing and is actually good at? Why didn't I
Mm-hmm.
ask her to help me with this? Why am I thinking I need to send my newsletter? I could go meet with a client, which I did this morning. I had a 9:30 coffee with a past client that was beautiful, and Drea
Mm-hmm.
finished up a newsletter that needed to be sent. So it's learning those little pieces, that where is my time? Um, where are my dollar earning moments, is what they say, right? Like, where is
Mm-hmm.
that actually at? And it just took a lot of practice. And Dre is amazing. She's been a realtor before. She's been in the lending business before, where she'll call me out. We have morning meetings and she'll,
Mm-hmm.
why are you doing that? Go meet with your client. I'll get this done, and she'll say, what else? What else? And she tackles it, and she's there and she's ready to run with it. So she's a
Wow.
can player. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm looking for someone good. What's Drea's number? No, I'm just
Oh
kidding.
gosh. I I swear, everybody, where do I find a Drea? I'm like,
Yeah.
sent me from her from heaven. Truly. She's
Yeah, she
incredible.
seems incredible.
Yeah.
Um, so how did you initially figure out what it was that Drea was going to do? Did you have a job description in mind? Did you write down a list of different tasks? And then how did that evolve?
Good question. Um, I think it was just through the series, it- the first couple year. I mean, my first year in real estate, I made $7,000, and was working 5 different jobs and had no idea what I was doing and trying to dial in systems. And you
Mm-hmm.
progress, right? And you
Mm-hmm.
get with the right brokerage or the right coach and learn what works for you. And um, I finally figured out that system thanks to a lot of people along the way. And ninja selling was huge for me, and I
Mm-hmm.
still do almost everything from Ninja. That's pretty much my prospecting in general, is, you know, doing what they call for. And it got to a point that I was so client facing and always just consult, show homes, under contract, closing, or consult, list home, stage home, closing. No prospecting was happening. I wasn't writing notes. I wasn't meeting new
Mm.
people. I wasn't sending real estate reviews. And very fortunately, as you wanted to, that came through referrals. But also, I was realizing you'd have those huge months and then there was nothing. And I was like, what am I doing? I
Yeah.
hadn't done anything worth prospecting because I was so busy in the business. So I feel like there are those graduating steps, I'm sure for lenders too,
Hmm.
where you start to realize, where is my time best spent and who can do and run the transaction or run marketing or help with Instagram posts or anything like that. So it really became a list, thanks to my good old operations coordinator husband, just realizing,
Hmm.
hey, what if you had somebody doing this, that, this, that? And it was daunting. I mean, it kept me up at night thinking about how to
Hmm.
replace me. It's scary. I met with another realtor yesterday for lunch who, she's a mom at the daycare our kids go to. How are you doing this with 3 kids? I only have 2. I'm like, hire an assistant. It'll change your life. She's terrified. I said, I was too. Change is
Yeah.
scary. But I think just really listing out the tasks. I had great sales managers at Compass who helped me with those advertisements. I interviewed until I knew I had the right one.
Hmm.
And we just ran with each other, and it was a lot of honest criticism and feedback both ways. I welcomed it too. Um, so yeah, it's hard. It's really hard. I know my husband always says, hire quick and fire fast. If it's not working,
Hmm.
it's not working, adjust. Um, so yeah, long story short, to your question, I know I ramble, but that's kind of the course that it took in a way.
Yeah. Yeah. I went through the same process. I hired my first assistant in 2012, and I remember being super nervous about it, stressed out. And it was like day one. As soon as a couple things were done and I didn't have to spend my time doing it, just the light bulb went on, and I was like, wow, this is the only way to do it. It
Okay.
took an hour until I realized, I was like, wow, what was I so afraid of?
Yes.
So,
I remember
yeah,
the first week, I was like, we went to bed every night. I was like, she is amazing. Like
yeah,
guess what she did today? And Liam's like, oh, wow. Okay. This was long
yeah,
overdue.
yeah.
It's awesome. So, yeah.
Like, wow, I got 15 notes written. I didn't, and meanwhile, I was meeting with a client.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
It's really cool. So,
yeah, it
yeah.
is cool. So, so is Drea the only one on your team, or do you have even more people on your team?
Good question. We have a very unique team. So there are 8 producing agents. The ninth
Okay.
would be, including myself. Drea is my full time assistant who also supports the team, does different things just given our structure as the team. But the other 8 agents on our team are all top producing agents. That took us a while to dial in. Um, I think at first when I started the team, honestly, RJ, I was lonely. Um, I was kind of done driving in my car by myself. I
Hmm.
community. The community I was in was too big. It was like a 60-person or so team, come and go, coffee meetings. And don't get me wrong, the leader of that team helped me become the realtor I am today. It was absolutely incredible. But yeah, our team has 8, and we all are um, full time producers. So that's a requirement to be on the team. Is it's not part time. We've had that in the past. It didn't gel in terms of the pace we were all running, meeting on
Hmm.
Thursdays, same conversations and flow. Um, so it's been really nice, and we have a lot of structures. The whole idea is that it alleviates um, your workload. One small example is one agent a month creates the newsletter and perfects it to our team specifically, our events, our listings, our things
Hmm.
going on, our personal items, and then sends that to the team to send. Then the next teammate does it. We also rotate who goes to the Compass listings. We also are in charge of monthly campaigns where everybody can just, yep, I'll participate. Boom, it's linked up here. We swap that out. So that's been
Hmm.
we're collaborative team.
Okay.
And that's really fun to take part in. And then I just hired a buyer's agent as well to help me, because
Okay.
that's another goal is I'm just trying to spend more time with my kids, um, and
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
shut off at 4 or 5, and she's running with them in the evenings for showings. So yeah,
Very nice. Yeah.
yeah,
So we never talked about business goals. What are your goals for 2024 for business?
lofty. That's the way I roll, though. I told my assistant I wanted to do 75 transactions. She goes, "How about 60?" And I was like,
How
"Try
about
it on."
80?
Say, don't go low, go higher than me. But
Yeah.
I want to up our transaction count. I think, between you and I have a love hate with our industry that it's always more and more and more. I've been so fortunate to produce what I have and what the team has. It always concerns me, that if we could just do what we did last year, I'm really happy with that. But the new year and the competitor in me does go. It's like that 50-50 balance of,
Hmm.
well, why wouldn't we do more? Right? Why not?
Sure.
So that's a big thing. I think one thing too is just I want to be more consistent. I I had a lot of health issues last year. Um, I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, and I think that a lot of my
Mm.
consistencies just fell off the train, and I
Hmm.
wasn't healthy. I couldn't produce. I couldn't talk to people. I didn't want to go to social events. And now that my health is awesome and I'm working with a nutritionist and I know what's going on and how to take care of myself, I feel like a new person. I actually enjoy those things again. So just the
Yeah.
consistency, notes and face to faces and events, and clear headed enough to participate and enjoy those like I used to. So,
Hmm.
that's big for me too.
That's
Business.
great.
Yeah.
So what does that look like if you were to close 75 transactions? What did you do in 23, or what are your historical numbers looking like?
2020 was my best year ever, and that I think we did 82. And then the following year, I had my son, so I did take 3 months off thanks to my team. I fell to 61. I expected that. This past year, I think I was 65. So, you
Okay.
know, it's healthy, it's lovely,
Yeah.
and it's always just um yeah, everybody's got goals, and I'm not after, of course I'm after the money to support my family. I'm after being able to do whatever I want on a Friday afternoon, and
Hmm.
uh, go pick up my kids early from school and get up to the mountains, and that's what fires me up. So that's what the numbers look like, I think.
Okay.
You
Okay.
should ask Freya. She knows better than I do.
There you go. Yeah, she's the one I need to
Yeah,
have her
she's
on the
a
podcast.
curveball.
Yeah.
She's a curveball, seriously. But yeah.
Totally. Totally. Okay. Nice. So big reason why I wanted to have you on the podcast is you are a master of client relationships and cultivating your sphere. So I really would like to get your insights on that and have you share the kinds of things that you do in that realm of your business.
I think I, I love this part of the business. I feel like I should have been a marketing major. I love marketing.
Mhm.
Um, and I think my business took off when I finally just decided to be myself and not do what everybody else was doing. Um, I'm huge on the Popeyes. I'm huge on gifting. I'm a total cheese ball. Um, Warm fuzzies are my thing. But I think it's just about cultivating the relationship. How do we continue to do that? I do very intimate marketing pushes. Mother's Day, I send every mom client I've had a handwritten note, just encouraging them to keep it up. Um, in December, well, this year we did November. I throw a huge party for only people that have referred me business, even if they haven't bought a
Mm.
place. My best friends out of state that referred me people or whatever. We do a big flower arranging party where I make a huge holiday bouquet of my favorite
Mm.
flora. We have cheese and wine, and we did like permanent jewelry, and I gifted them all that because they're sending me the food I'm putting on the table, right? Like they are feeding my business. So I do that. Um, Coffees, notes. I'm huge on notes. I'm huge on just celebrating what's happening in their life. I've really leaned into the mom
Mm-hmm.
part, kids too. Anybody having babies, they're getting a gift. Anybody who gets a puppy, I send them a little something. I love dogs too. And I think just when they think of me, I just want them to feel good. Even if they never use me again, even if, there's something I can help them non-related to real estate, that's the impact I'm trying to make.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, that's a lot of that. Just repeat and referral is I love heavily on my clients, and while I'm able to make a great living from this, a lot of what I'm making is feeding the business back, right? And we spend
Mm-hmm.
top dollar to continue um, fueling those relationships. So little things like that. There's all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff. Go on and on. So
Yeah.
yeah.
How do you stay on top of all of it as far as being aware of when people get a new puppy or have a baby and that kind of stuff?
Yeah. I have a couple ways. Instagram is huge. I really built my entire career off of that. Um, just starting by educational videos. My background's in elementary education, so
Okay.
that's what I decided to do is just educate people about the market, and that's how I started
Nice.
gaining clients. Um, from there, I was really fortunate. I danced for the Nuggets and then continued to dance for the Broncos, and I think that gave me exposure and excitement in the community just to be able to share those experiences, but also be sharing about the market. And furthermore, just I went to the University of Kansas. My sorority sisters still send me business, and I use my Instagram as a resume in a way. So if they're sending me that client is already learning about the market, sees my latest listing, sees a testimonial from another client, and the goal is complete approachability. I have no problem DMing Allie and asking her to hop on a call with me. That's my goal there. But
Mm-hmm.
then you have the clients that don't do social media. And that's a whole nother checklist we actually created in 2021 because I realized I was like,
Mm.
gosh, I haven't talked to Zoe in forever. Zoe hates social media. I need to call her. And I realized that I relied so heavily on that how do we start mailers, calling people, picking up the phone just to follow
Mm-hmm.
up. So that's a whole nother aspect of it. So I think just really being in tune with who's your audience. What do you want your audience to be? And then building it, building the back end to support it. So kind of those two ways.
Okay. Okay. How big is your client database?
It depends which spreadsheet you're looking at.
Okay. Is that your secret database program, Excel?
I do love Excel. Compass has been amazing because we actually converted in 2020. I joined Compass and
Mm-hmm.
their backend's incredible. Um, I think we have over 1,200, 1,500, but I have everything tagged. So it's past buyers, new buyers, sellers, who's a homeowner, because we're also sending out very specialized newsletters or information. A person who's looking to buy a home is not going to care about your winter maintenance checklist when their landlord is taking care of it, right? So really, I think as your business grows, you have to dial in the the subject that the information you're sending to them, or else it's going to fall on deaf ears
Mm-hmm.
essentially. So that's one thing we've done, but we have like our master list. Like I have divided it into A's, B's, C's of I love these people. They've referred me business, amazing individuals. B's, transaction was fine. They're just whatever. It was a referral, just as that goes.
Sure.
And um that's really how we utilize sending out different things, sending out different pushes, um, different mailers, emails, things like that. And we always map that in November. So we have our plan for the year. Um, and we just try to follow it as best we can in a way. So yeah. So
Okay. Okay. So with 1,200 people, um, I'm personally getting my mind blown on how to keep track of all this stuff and how to, as far as prioritizing what things to send out and when to reach out. How do you keep track of all that?
there is a psycho element to it that I'm my whole business was all friends, right? That
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were my people. Those I will always know what's going on in their life. it's gotten harder and harder as the person who's been referred is now referring somebody, and that third person is now referring somebody. And I've
Yeah.
even been like, oh, where did this person come from? Right? How do we make that personal connection? So honestly, RJ, it's kind of it's hard. It is really hard, but it's really diligent work for, I mean, last night I took 5 or 6 screenshots on Instagram of things that I wanted to talk to Drea about. Hey, Elisa just had her baby. I saw Lori struggling. I think they're about to put her dog down. Let's send her something. Hey, there's this. Hey, there's that. And kind of having her help me, like, why don't you just text her and see how she's doing? Or why don't you set a coffee appointment for that one? So it's still important, I think, like approachable and authentic is what I
Hmm.
try to remain with. And it's not automated all the time. But I
Yeah.
think that continues to keep the business going is because there's a genuine care. Like I really do care about this stuff, right? And I think we've dialed in what we do. For instance, Elisa who had the baby, like I'm taking them a meal on Monday and gonna stop by and just say hi and I've been a mom. Like, do you want it on the porch or do you want to visit? Awesome. I'll leave it on the porch. Like I
Hmm.
think making that touch is important and better done than perfect is what I always remind myself.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't even get paralyzed by like, what should I do? And I want to send to Stuffy and my favorite book. And then what should I write in the note? I'm like, just do it. If it
Hmm.
even comes to mind, aren't you always so touched when somebody does something for you when you're going through something? Or I still remember the people that brought us meals when my husband's mom passed. And the first one to do it was a client of mine whose mother
Mm.
had just passed a year ago, like that same date. It was bizarre. And the next hour she had soup on our porch, and granted we had become really good friends, but I just think it's like caring about people. And that's what's brought the business is that they know I'm not after the sale. They know I'm after them just ensuring that they're okay and they're making a good
Hmm.
decision, that they're happy. Um, so it's a little psychotic, RJ. It's a little
Okay.
crazy.
Okay.
I
So
don't
just
have any secrets for that one.
so just an organic, psychotic type process.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yep.
Yeah, we call it the love plow. Drea's like,
I
oh
like it.
gosh, who do you have on your list? I was like, it's only because I care. I promise. Like, she's like, and this is why we're doing this. So,
So do you recognize the opportunities, and then Drea helps you to put
yeah,
those things into action? Is that
yeah,
kind of how it works? Okay.
yeah. And I think that's what's great is, this morning I had a 9:30, I had an 11:30. Liam's home with Royce. I'm checking in on him. I had had all these screenshots the night before, and it was just that simple. Hey, why don't I at least get the food delivery scheduled for that mom or this? And let's set this appointment for you to call that person. Like, that's one thing too, when you get this busy, like, hey, on Tuesday, you're going to call Diane, whose dog doesn't, hey, I saw your Instagram post. Are you doing okay? Not just commenting on it. Um, so that I actually do it. So she just helps with the execution and making
Hmm.
it easier because I'm crazy and I'll be like, oh, I'm going to do all these things. And that's not reality. So she just makes it attainable. And it's the thought that counts, right? That reach out. So she definitely helps bring me back down from the clouds a bit to
Hmm.
let
Hmm.
this awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it goes back to Drea again. She just sounds incredible.
She's amazing. She's amazing. Yeah.
So,
Cannot say enough good things about her.
yeah. Yeah. So, where do you see yourself going with the business long term? What kind of legacy do you want to have down the road?
I oh my gosh, that like it makes me kind of tear up thinking about my kids. I think right now, um, I'm so fortunate. Like I do wake up every day and I'm like, I love what I do. I love the team that I created. And I think the legacy I'm just trying to leave is really support women. People joke all
Hmm.
the time, we're an all women team. They're like, what, are you going to allow guys? I'm like, of course. I just haven't connected with any, or, I don't think there's a lot of agent brokers that want to host their client appreciation party at the Butterfly Pavilion this month or host a Galentine's Day party, right? So it's
Hmm. Hmm.
funny, we've organically, I mean, these are all women that are having kids and need maternity leave and need support because we want to fulfill our kiddos. And I think that's been the legacy I'm dialed in on is if we can find top producers just needing that extra piece of support or boundary setting where, yes, you can do it all, but you can do it a hell of a lot better with a team that is fully backing you and helping you say no and helping you stay focused. And to know that I have 8 people on my team that are so happy to be here and feel so supported and share that gratitude with me, that's awesome. That's all I need right now. So I have no idea what'll happen in 10 years. My co-founder and I always joke we'll be in a, home together in our wheelchairs writing offers, and before
Yeah.
he's going to be like, "Get your butts down to Cabo with me and retire." So I don't know what's going to
Hmm.
happen, but it's a never say never. It's just got to ebb and flow, and that's the
Yeah.
beauty of life is the
Yeah.
surprises and plans along the way. So
Yeah. You just never know what life's going to bring you.
exactly, exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Well, how can people find you on Instagram or elsewhere if they want to follow you and see what you're doing?
Just my name. If you just look up Allie.Kirby, you'll find me there. Um, feel free to reach out. I love connecting. I think we become a better industry when we can share stories and hear how other people are doing things, and also tap into just doing it the way we want to make it work for ourselves. I think there's a lot of mimicking in this industry in a good and very bad way.
Hmm.
Um, and that's one thing I just always encourage people, just be yourself. If you have an idea, run with it and A/B test it, as my tech husband would say. Tell
Right.
you what happens, change it.
Yep.
Drives
Yep.
me nuts, but he's right. So there you have it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, very, very wise words from an excellent real estate agent. So definitely appreciate you taking the time to be on today. I know you're super busy.
No, I appreciate it, and thanks for your patience. And yeah, hope this hope this lands on someone's ears who needed it.
Awesome. Well, thanks again. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
I hope you enjoyed that interview. And if you did, please share this episode with your friends in the industry. That's how the word gets out. And subscribe to the channel. Once again, my name is RJ Baxter with ClearPath Home Loans. Have a great rest of your day.